a beggar for a long time. And I felt that it's better for me to just die. And maybe there are people who will be hurt genuinely for me, but they will heal. And I don't think if anyone would really care for my presence, I would care. And also maybe to relieve them from the burden and guilt. So I've thought to myself, I'm better off dead than living. Because living is so hard, it has become so hard. And I will end my pain, and also the pains of those around me. It will only be expensive one time maybe, and it doesn't have to be. Because I believe whatever someone does for a dead person, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Maybe to console yourself emotionally, or to compensate for the times you are not there for them when they were alive. But those are usually just emotions that go away with time. So after that, people will get over it very fast. If you compare to how I can even get over what I've gone through for all these years, the trauma, the problems, the rejection, I don't think my loss can compare to what I've gone through as a living person. I do have SHA, and I think it was better when it was in HIF. It was a bit, it would cover much compared to what SHA is offering right now. And mostly it caters for the daily bed rebates and the admission. But now for the medication, you have to buy. Usually you have to buy them yourself.
So SHA is not covering the medication for endometriosis management.
Yeah.
Now today's episode is not just about raising awareness. No, it's about cry for help. We are supporting Linda, a young lady who is battling endometriosis. This disease has not only affected her health, but it has completely grounded her. She cannot work. She cannot just do anything. She just stays in bed literally. So we are going to listen to her story, and if you know anyone who can help her, especially get the kind of treatment that she deserves, then please just share this episode with them so that they can help them. They can help her rather. My name is 𝗘𝗍𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 welcoming us here. And just for our viewers, you can tell us who you are and what you're going through today.
My name is 𝗘𝗍𝗻𝗄, and I'm a patient living with endometriosis. I have lived with this condition for close to 16 years now, and it was not diagnosed immediately because in the beginning they thought it wasn't a problem, and over time it kept on being diagnosed as other different things. So the endometriosis diagnosis came for in 2019. Yeah.
Right, maybe you can now take us through the journey. What happened? How did this start?
I was in high school when I received my first period, and it wasn't smooth. I was surprised in a way why I was experiencing the pain. Because that is not what I was taught. I didn't expect it. You learn about reproductive health and changes that girls and boys go through during puberty. The only thing I knew is at some point I'll start menstruating. But no one told me it could be painful. No one told me it could start my life. No one told me it would kill me. And by killing me, sometimes the only reason you're still alive is because you're breathing. But if everything else in your life has died, even the dead are better than you. Because they could be having an excuse of why they're not doing certain things, but if you're still being seen on the face of the earth and not doing according to what the society or the community around you expects you to be doing at that time, it starts being detrimental to your mind, especially from opinions, because everyone has an opinion. And getting to hear different opinions from different people for a clueless person is confusing. Because person A will tell me it is wrong. Person B will tell me every woman gets it. Person C will tell me it's because I'm lazy. And I was confused. Which one was which? I remember I started, the voices in my head were not convincing me I was the problem. Because if other women are not going through the same thing when they're on their period, why is it that I'm the one who's unable to?
So in other words, when you were in your period, you couldn't do anything.
I couldn't do anything. Yeah. And it even started keeping me away from school. Because during those times, I couldn't even sit still. I was either lying on the floor, curling myself up in a fetal position, walk around, even counting my fingers, like literally I wasn't myself during those times. And my environment wasn't supportive enough of what I was going through, so I was also trying to hide.
What do you mean by that, your environment? Was it now in the boarding school? What was going on? Or was it at home?
I'd say both.
What was happening?
Because in school you find that, let's say, a bigger percentage of the girls there already have their period, and most of them don't go through theirs the way you go through yours. So to avoid that judgment, you start hiding this part of yourself because you don't want other people to find out about it. And our matron in particular, I remember there's a time I went to her and she told me I can't go to the sick room because I was on my period. Sick room was delegated for people who are really sick. Probably if someone had an infection or malaria, or they had a physical injury that was visible. At home, I wasn't really given that option of taking painkillers.
At home?
Yeah.
Why?
Because those around me were saying that it is a normal thing. And I should get a hang of it. Because being a woman is synonymous with pain. So you'd be told things like, how would you even handle childbirth if such a small pain and you're always complaining about it? Like, you really have to get over it. Is it something that everyone does? Or sometimes things like, those comments like, so should we know that every man at some point you will not be doing anything because you're on your period? So you find such kind of comments, they start turning you into an alien. You start eliminating yourself from these people because you fear what they will tell you, and also you are now self-doubting.
The disease is not yet diagnosed as endometriosis, right? So after high school, how was the performance in the first place? Did this condition affect And then did you go to college? Again, maybe briefly you can take us through the journey there. Was it the same story? Did you look for work? Okay, now in college, most people start maybe to date and all that. Maybe you can just tell us how life was like after now high school.
I managed to sit for my GCSE. But my performance was not like what I'd have gotten if I was in school consistently. But it was also good enough.
What was it? Mind.
It was
A B. A B.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So at least I secured a chance for uni.
Yeah.
And I joined. So when I joined university, I was also now starting to be more self-aware of myself. That I started living alone. So meaning that I was experiencing all these things firsthand by being me, because there was no one who was like looking. So I'd be able to even just cry freely, because no one was going to ask me why I'm crying. Or I'd be able to postpone doing laundry, no one would tell me why did you wash that. So the heavy bleeding was still there, and it had now progressed, because that pain got now to that point, especially our clinical officer. She's the first medic who showed me compassion when it comes to that condition.
So that's in campus.
Yeah.
So which year was this?
2016.
Okay, so she was already suspected with the endometriosis.
She didn't say endometriosis, but
she
it
said
could be something.
Now after graduation, did you go back to Mombasa to look for work?
After graduation, I went back to Mombasa. So now I started like looking for something to do. Started making applications, and besides that, now I was running small businesses to at least sustain myself, be able to pay my rent and help myself from time to time. Because the family, I don't come from a rich family, so, and then we've already graduated.
Yeah, everyone expects you now to be independent.
Yeah. Going back is a trigger solution. So I was really trying to put my foot out there and at least get independence. And I think I was doing well. Like I was selling handbags, jewelry, shoes, clothes, anything that I could sell. Sometimes I'd do drop shipping. I'd just go to see and take pictures of cuttings and the carpets and then advertise. Then when someone asks for it, when they pay me, I call my supplier and then they send it, and then I sell it to the client, because most of the time it's not like I had that money. So I'd wait for someone to be interested in the item, and then when they send me the money, I ask my supplier to send it, and like I could manage that. I also sometimes would go to Riverside or the Dubai street and get
From Mombasa, you come to Nairobi.
like, yeah, I come to Nairobi, go and get the stuff and sell them in Mombasa. And online, with online business, you can get a client anywhere. So sometimes you get someone who has a delivery like out of town.
And you are still now formally employed.
That is now before I got in the employment. And it was, at first they wanted some volunteers for research, to some sort of an NGO. And I did the volunteering for about 6 months. And then they took me in for a probation term after 6 months. So I worked like for
1.5 years.
1 year. And then now they absorbed me. Now I was always sick. You just go to work but you're sick. You're weak. Then field work, you need to take a lot of rest, you need to sit down. Sometimes like the pain is too much, you need to take medication. And then now I had an insurance, and at least now I get to see doctors in good hospitals. Sometimes you need an admission. And now my immediate supervisor wasn't really understanding. I remember like after going through that, sometimes like she told me, "You're just in hospital the other time. You know, you are becoming a liability."
So were you fired?
I was dismissed indefinitely. And I went to the hospital, I got admitted, and I was told that I chose to recover. And I said, the environment had become toxic now. It had, but I accepted it with grace.
What really made you to move into 𝗧𝗲? You were in the hospital admitted, and then all of a sudden, like now, you can't stay in Kisumu any longer. You're in 𝗧𝗲, and of course, commuting from 𝗧𝗲 to Kisumu, it's a distance.
I went home. I found that people had moved, and I wasn't like aware.
They didn't tell you.
I wasn't told, so I was not knowing. And I didn't know where they had gone. So when I asked for that, I was told that the house was too small.
No, you got home, you found there was no one, so you decided to call them.
And oh, it's not, the house needs to be rented out. So I asked them, then when I realized no wonder the second come. Oh, this house is too small. Like it's high time we find
Another place.
another place.
Linda, you're taking so many drugs. Maybe you can tell us what these are. You don't have, do you have insurance? Just the management, just like the management, like I just hold them for you. So for example, I've seen you have these, what are these that you're taking?
These ones are actually, they're just needles or syringes. Sometimes I need the injectable things.
So you just inject yourself?
Yeah, I usually inject myself. Sometimes if there's a master's I can't administer, that I was taught how to self-administer injections.
And how much now are these? You have to buy this with cash?
Yes, I have to buy this with cash. So this coming at around 380.
Yeah.
It can also be expensive, but sometimes you don't have.
So how much, like, do you use this daily?
Not daily.
Okay.
It's the use days that I use it daily. So I can be alternating between the oral medication
All these drugs, they are for managing. So, yeah.
I use this one to manage the heavy bleeding. It is intended to stop the bleeding.
Right, so we've had to change location because one, it's raining outside, and two, Linda also was a bit tired. But let's finish up the conversation. Linda's taken us through what she's been through, and now we've seen the kind of medication she's taking. So the next step is now, how is she managing this? What kind of support has she received, and what kind of support might she need to manage this disease better? Linda, we've seen the medication that you're using. The question is, do you have 𝗧? Is it paying for these drugs you're buying, the treatment you're receiving when you're hospitalized, for example? What exactly does it cover? Because I know that's the only insurance you have, since you don't have any formal employment, right? Yeah.
So I do have 𝗧. And I think it was better when it was NHIF. It was a bit, it would cover much compared to what 𝗧 is offering right now. And mostly it caters for the daily bed rebates and the admission. But now for the medication, you have to buy. Usually you have to buy them yourself.
So 𝗧 is not covering the medication for endometriosis management.
Yeah. So there's that challenge of buying the drugs because of finances. And sometimes because you can't find them easily, so you have to like send for them in other places. But 𝗧 doesn't cater for the medication that I use, and also for the treatment it doesn't cater for everything. Like if I have to take some tests, I have to pay them from the pocket. Like right now I'm supposed to do a series of tests, but I couldn't do them because I didn't have the money that was needed, and 𝗧 doesn't cater for them. I needed to take like echocardiogram, a test, and ECG. Those are for the heart, and kidney function test, thyroid function test, and liver function test as well. So the total was coming to around 20,000 and something, which like I didn't have that money, and I have been having issues with my heart. Like my heart can skip beats sometimes, and I get a lot of pain, like in my chest cavity. So for me to have gone to the hospital that time, I went to the Kisumu Heart and Cancer Center, and I could only be able to pay for the consultation, which was 3,000. I felt like a burden and a beggar for a long time. And I felt that it's better for me to just die. And maybe there are people who will be hurt genuinely for me, but they will heal. And I don't think if anyone would really care for my presence, I would care. And also maybe to relieve them from the burden and guilt. So I've thought to myself, I'm better off dead than living, because living is so hard. It has become so hard. And I will end my pain, and also the pains of those around me. It will only be expensive one time maybe, and it doesn't have to be. Because I believe whatever someone does for a dead person, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Maybe to console yourself emotionally, or to compensate for the times you are not there for them when they were alive. But those are usually just emotions that go away with time. So after that, people will get over it very fast. If you compare to how I can even get over what I've gone through for all these years, the trauma, the problems, the rejection, I don't think my loss can compare to what I've gone through as a living person.
I don't know what to say, but I'm just hopeful that you'll get help. I don't know from where or how, but my heart tells me you'll get help. That's all I can say.
Thank you also for your consistent encouragement and willingness, because it's not the first time you've done my story. And thank you for thinking about me. I didn't have to. Also, thank you for what you're doing. And I just pray that it gets better over time and grow into it. Because you're really helping a lot of people, especially now when you're dealing with someone on a personal level, like the patient.
I'll keep speaking with you, and I know one day we shall have a better conversation where we are smiling and laughing and not sad.
Thank you.
Right. That is it. So I'll just ask you to share to anyone that you think can help Linda to better manage her condition. That's it.